Hi, I'm Dov Lesel. This talk is about mindfulness and spending. Obviously, spending is the opposite of saving. There are things that we need to spend money on, and then we have our wants. The concept of mindfulness is simply being aware in the present of what you're doing. You have heard of this concept in many avenues. And how you spend your money, how you save your money, what you do in your life is no different. It's all about being mindful of what you do. I find that, for instance, when I'm at a party, it's so easy to stand around near the table with food on it and just consume food. Not because I'm hungry, not necessarily because the food may be delicious. It's simply something to do. In a sense, I am not being mindful. I am simply going on what makes me feel good at the moment. It's the same oftentimes when you're feeling down or feeling lonely. And for many people, it's not unusual to go to a store and shop. The act of shopping oftentimes makes us feel better, whether the item that we're shopping for is something that we need or not, or even something that we're going to use or not. I know that in the past, I've had things in my closet, shirts, pants, even shoes, that I bought because the act of shopping was an enjoyable one. It filled the time when I had nothing to do, or it filled a hole or a need that was easy to fill with spending money and shopping. Some of those items, a year or two later, were still sitting in the closet with tags on them, never having been worn. So this short talk is simply to keep in mind that how you spend your money, whether it's buying cafe lattes every day, whether it's avocado on toast, the choices you make about what you're eating, what restaurants you go out to, how often you spend money, that you need to be mindful about that. The media oftentimes refers to us as consumers because that's a big part of how America runs. There's nothing wrong with that, and in fact, we are consumers. It's one of the things that keeps our economy going. But as consumers, we have to also be aware that we also need to be savers. I believe that one of the things that also mitigates against us saving is this notion that if we save, we will appear cheap to our friends. When we go out to a restaurant or to a bar, or even going shopping with friends, if we don't want to spend as much as they do, I think in this country we are worried that they will consider us to be cheap. In other countries, especially in Southeast Asia, saving 30 or even 40% of your income is not unusual, and nobody thinks less of you. It's understood that saving is good. It's part of the cultural norm. In this country, saving has not really become as much of a cultural norm as spending, as having a good time. What I'm here to tell you is you can do both. The trick is to be mindful. If you're going out to an expensive restaurant, think in advance, how much am I willing to spend? And then use that money, have a good time. But that way, you know you're doing it consciously, mindfully. It's no different than going to Las Vegas or gambling in any other venue. I remember the couple of times that my parents went to Vegas. We went in, we had a budget. We had $100. That was it. When we lost that money, we lost it. If we came out ahead, great. If not a problem. We knew that the $100 was going to be the cost of having a good time in gambling for as long as it took to lose that money. It's no different of any other spending. There may be a thought that what I am telling you to do is not to have fun. That's far from the truth. The idea that if you save and maybe enjoy saving more than spending, which is ultimately where I want you to go, that somehow you will end up like those rare people that we read about who have lived a life of poverty, and when they die, it's discovered that they are worth millions of dollars. I think for the majority of you, the chance of that happening is far, far from reality. I would not worry about that. I'm also suggesting that mindfulness means living in the moment. Living in the moment, however, does not necessarily mean the concept of carpe diem, which is living in the moment as if tomorrow will never come. It becomes a balance. You live in the moment by being mindful. And mindfulness is good no matter what you do, whether it's how much you eat, whether it's how you spend your time, and it's also about how you spend your money. What you will find is if you are mindful about your spending, you will enjoy spending more because it won't be mindless spending. When you spend money, you will enjoy it. And at the same time, you will not be frittering it away and then wondering at the end of the month, now, where did that money go? How did I manage to spend it all? You will know. And not only that, but the odds are that you will have money left over to enjoy in the future. Thank you.